Game Changers finals looks really solid.
It 100% does. And I just want to back up a little bit for that TSM comparison that you did, because I'm so happy that you said it, because you can do a little bit of clown math, right? Like, oh, well, if TSM beat one of these teams and one of these teams beat TSM, then yeah, we kind of know how this might be playing out. But both of them, honestly, just completely flipped expectations. We're able to do a little bit of magic coming into this series, and Son of Car already so aggressive. Finds Sarah very early on. But that's okay, because it does look like Shopify Rebellion, they're more interested in claiming that space over towards the A side. It's going to be tough, though. A lot of stuns in their pathway.
Test. I'm here. I'm good. I promise. Sorry, guys. I promise I know this technology. Shopify pushing onto the A side here. With this extra damage, they're able to just punch a little bit harder in that opening fight, but they've got to double back up. Smiley's actually just going to hop back out, try and trade away, but nobody can get the pinch in time. Kumi setting up, but the toxic screen is back, so the window of time gone, but Noya can't press back out. And now Shopify have to play the waiting game. Dodo Nut having to hold on for Alexis to come, and NBG, they sense that they're on a timer, getting that one before Alexis can come through. Now it's on her in the 1v3, and she's able to line up against Son of Car, but her position given away. Spike a mile away as well. NBG, they can double swing whenever they need to. On top of the Rose, it's pretty easy too, so NBG able to grab that first round.
Yeah, and honestly, just the momentum swing that was kind of happening for Nightblade game in there. It just screamed confidence, I think is the best way to describe it. Son of Car picking up the Sheriff and just more or less running down C in order to find this very early pick onto Sarah. It just kind of set the pace for the entire round. Shopify Rebellion were trying to make their way back into it, but it's kind of these aggro plays that we see from Nightblade Gaming that really just set the rest of it there. So excellent first pistol round coming in from them. Let's see how they're going to adapt this time around. Shopify Rebellion this time a little bit more interested into that B site, while Nightblade Gaming looks like they're thinking themselves, just waiting for a little bit of engagement, and that's going to leave that B wide open for Shopify to almost guarantee a plant.
Smiley does manage to cut in pretty early, and Screwface is going to choose to breach this toxic screen. So will the breach. So they'll be able to push Shopify a little farther out. But a lot committed to make sure that that happens, so they'll just watch as Shopify runs on over to C, and Noya implanted to grab Screwface. This has been a nice little kite to let Shopify passively reset.
Yeah, plenty of time to still work with. Just under a minute left on the clock. Finally, the regroup is going to be happening around here. Noted just on the other side does have a stinger. Could be deadly on the entranceway in with Kubi. Sentinel, everyone's been hyping up here, but Noted strikes first.
Strike down, C.
First pot, able to grab one. Kumi holding the line, and has already made a statement here on Nightblood as continuously one of the better fraggers of the stage. Did the same last time, and the desk did a great job of highlighting him and Son of Car specifically, who have been really lighting up the kill feed lately. They have definitely been the biggest threats when it comes to poking holes in these normally very set in their ways compositions. It's able to topple these structured game plans so well, which is what makes this such a fun benchmark for Shopify Rebellion Gold, because if anything, they are like the best power of friendship team in North America I could possibly think of. Their teamwork is second to none.
Yeah, and that was another point that I really agree with the desk on. You know, Shopify, they're the guys who have done the reps. They've gone through, they've practiced so many different strategies. They've practiced how they want to play off of one another. Meanwhile, Nightblade Gaming, their style is a lot more like free-flowing. They're just kind of sending things out, looking for those aggressive micro plays and finding their timing opportunities to strike the players when they're not really expecting it. I mean, even if you look at that last round, Screwface just kind of popping out and going in, just trying to find those kills. It's just things you're not really expecting. And so, especially having Kumi and Son of Car, two very key players being able to frag, really makes this a lot easier for Nightblood Gaming, as you know, they don't just find a trade, they actually find another kill. Now they have the person advantage.
Yeah, able to watch Alexis on that post. They're aware that these attackers are still going to have somebody holding out for those loners that have to cross through such an expansive map. But Shopify still have the numbers on the site now that they've taken it, and they're able to turn that into a man advantage here on the bonus. Pinch coming through long term, though. How long will Kumi choose to wait with this Vandal? Son of Car having to set up with the Outlaw, but going ahead and procking the door, giving away the noise. Shopify have to be turned to it. It's all a timing game for Nightblood, and they're willing to play it. They have the util to fight it out. Paint Shell's traded away with the C's. That does catch Carr, but Kumi's going to choose to press anyway, and Mel is ready for it. That should be it fully diffused, but can Carr get a gun on the way down? That's the big question here. Mel is down to a shred of health, so it could be huge to get rid of at least one more rifle. Carr's going to get rid of 2. That's major. And while Shopify do take the round, they lose 4 guns on the way down. Huge for Nightblood's bottom line.
Oh, yeah. That was honestly the worst part about it. Like, you know, Sunakar, scary player. Let's just double swing. Let's make this clear. Let's make this easy. And yet somehow walks away with 2 kills, making it only 1 player able to kind of carry their weapon forwards. Shopify will have enough to continue to buy up on this round, but you know, not the most ideal scenario. We talk about those moments of like, you know, teamwork, friendship. We're seeing a little bit of a showcase there. But when it just comes to these clutch players on Nightblood, this round really exemplifies what a threat some of them are.
It has been a lot of, you know, what has prevented Shopify Rebellion Gold from making any headway in matches in the past is just getting reacted to quicker. But if Shopify can hit their shots like we tend to see them do in Game Changers, then their Challengers runs can look a lot like them too. That's a nice opening shot by Dodonut to give C-Site completely to Shopify. I mean, they're not even going to, you know, try and contest this. They're going to let this plant go down. Alexis, can have her way with the B opening as well. She's going to get inside, and Note's able to hold that down too, but Spike still contested here in the waterfall. It's an open fight. Dodonut now open for 3. Screwface trades it away though, and that leaves Noya alone and now caught by the Prowler, having to reposition.
And the Viper's wall, unfortunately, on the other side there. Gives Noted a haircut, but Screwface ready for the spray down instead. Nightblood Gaming will be able to get that one and walk away with the Odin in hand after a little bit of a tumultuous round. Honestly, the plan there was just, let's be disruptive and let's be annoying. Usually you would see a team take a couple seconds, get themselves regrouped. Okay, unfortunately, Kubi went down very early on, so let's just back up, you know, give them the spike plant down. But instead, Nightblood Gaming, like, they take a very fast timing to try and prevent the plant, try and disrupt that plant from going down, which allows them to catch a couple of the members of Shopify Rebellion off guard. And so as a result of that, they convert that round win. Shopify Rebellion Gold on a little bit of a budget buy here, as all the bullets will be raining down, make sure that they're able to scoop up that ultimate orb. Give Smiley the Rolling Thunder available if they so need it, but Son of Carr, of course, is going to be going exploring.
They be sat on into this A opening to maybe force some util out, but SRG is just going to poke through it. Take the chip damage from the Odin and the kill with it, Screwface, yeah. And the anti-eco, you can get away with something like that. NBG cut SRG down hard here in the opener, but you're at least able to get rid of this raise, so you can maybe get a push going, get a spike down on another site. It's just going to be a little longer. Oh, man, that's rough.
The Screwface Odin just continuously layering in bullets. The call has been made to make their way all the way around here. Gonna make an attempt at the C site. Let's see how it goes.
Note has been caught by this haunt. Has to just kind of take it like a champ. Kumi's gonna come in for the backup, but Note will eventually fall. Dodonut now alone has another free kill. Gets her a gun. One more reset of the fight, but Spike still dropped, so Screwface can intimidate on the door. A lot of different corners to check in only 20 seconds, so really tough for Dodonut to reset here.
Yeah, now we'll be able to go for this plant here, but look at that. Nightblood Gaming already getting ready.
Just tossing that Rolling Thunder out to guarantee. Good on Dodonut to hold that, just grabbing the extra orb before going down. But Nightblood, yeah, they're able to hold on to that round after a really solid opening. It's clear that Shopify have a decent exec on to C, though, once they're able to kind of get inside. I think what matters is kind of making sure that Mel is able to stay active without dying early on, so you can smoke the back hall. Because from there, it seems like their spike plant is very much set. But if Nightblood have more than one opening, if they can poke out of, you know, waterfall and back hall at the same time, then it's kind of over.
Yeah, and you see, like, as soon as they hear the spike plant, that's when they start making their way forwards. Speaking of hyper-aggressive, going in, Son of Carr already finds a trade here, as the Steel Garden will be activated as well. It's an absolute brawl just to the spawn.
Shopify gonna Lay some smokes down to force Nightblood Gaming to really pursue these kills if they want to actually go for them, and Melly's going to be able to bait a kill out of it for it. But Screwface still getting away with this Odin pick, is able to equalize at least that end of the fight. Still, though, Shopify lead the way 3-2 onto the A exec that they'll have just barely enough time for.
I should be able to get the spike down now. Still 2 members available. Nightblood coming out.
Reactive ult, dude.
Yeah.
This is so, it's like so immediately early on the plan. It's crazy. And now the pit right on top. Oh, Kumi's just standing right on top. Alexis doesn't spot it. That's okay, though. The Vine, as Kumi tries to retreat, will deal the remaining damage. And with this pit still active, feels like Screwface has to play the ultimate psychological battle. This is a good start on the psych out with this door proc. Has forced the Viper's pit to eke away. It's just traded spots in the tree now. One more double swing from Shopify Rebellion Gold for old time's sake. No, Sarah's just going to take the reins herself and give Shopify 2.
Sarah beat Fragan. An excellent ending for that round. So chaotic there. I mean, on one hand, like Nightblood Gaming, I think that was a pretty fun move to do. You made Shopify Rebellion kind of get used to that one push on one of the lanes, and then the rest of them, you know, that gives up that space so you can kind of funnel them forwards. But this was just hyper aggressive outside of 2 lanes. Like, if you look at the mini map, all the defending members of Nightblood Gaming were just running down outside of B or C. Unfortunately, though, like, it didn't catch Shopify Rebellion off guard as much as they wanted. I think that's probably due to the fact that all these smokes do exist here. But Sudakar still going aggro.
You know, he wants to. Oh, gets punished after not being able to land the first shot. And those are the kinds of executes that you'll see Carr going for, is drip or drown. That's the level of confidence he continues to have. Noya dancing around rubble here. One more in the bag, indeed. That's the whole field cleared. El Presidente storming across A site. SRG have it all.
Yeah, that's just kind of all said and done. Of course, we were talking a big game about Kumi here. Like, wow, Kumi, what an excellent player on Nightblood Gaming. But I think this is just a little bit too tall of an order. Almost hubris from Nightblood Gaming on this round. They just continue to run things down, look for those opportunistic kills. So Shopify Rebellion, they're now bracing for impact. They're anticipating that level of aggression and making sure that they've got someone ready for it. I mean, the fact that Noya went completely unchecked there was just part of the almost over-eagerness coming from Nightblood Gaming. They saw what they wanted, eyes were on the prize, let's go right into spawn. And as a result, they got a little bit sloppy, opened up a couple of holes in their formation on this map that allowed Noya to just kind of pop off there. Sudakar as well, I mean, an excellent timing, but they're starting to get used to it. They're starting to anticipate potentially Sudakar moving up that aggressively, and I'm curious to see how Nightblood Gaming at this point change up their pace. Like, they say the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and hope for a different result. But so far, it's just been over and over redundancy.
Carr's going to do the same thing again. And this time it's into the rifles. Carr's going to lose his. And the last time Noya played into this, once Carr was revealed, she sped up a little bit to get to the outside of rubble to avoid the stack when it tried to press in. That's how she got those 3 kills. If anything, Nightblood played exactly how they should have there. Kumi holding down pretty conventionally here on the C site, but again, there's just too much in the way, and Dodo Nut is able to hit that very clean showstopper to once again cavalcade the damage on a Nightblood. That's another guaranteed site. Note with the Guardian as well, it's a really tough conversation to have of what you do here. Oh, now that you picked up the Yoda, maybe you do just save. Never mind.
In the comms note, it's like, don't worry, Screwface, I got your gun. Hand it right back over here. But
I want to go back to that last round a little bit again. I want to talk about the fact that Nightblood did have the stack ready for A on that anti-eco. I think they were playing that the right way, but Noya was just a little faster than Nightblood anticipated. I think Shopify are starting to understand that instead of just anticipating what Nightblood are going to do and then reacting to it, they can get ahead of things and then still execute their set plays. And I think that was done beautifully on both sides with the 4 stack on C to be able to take the fight with Carr and then move on in. And then meanwhile, Noya just standing her ground there. That worked out perfectly. This round, Carr just kind of gave himself away, didn't he? Just running down mound, going for it again. And you hear the entire team and you're just kind of going for a kill and you don't get one. I mean, at that point, Shopify can just default their way to the round, you know?
No, 100%. Like, it almost feels it's like it's an underutilization of what you can get out of Son of Kar. We know Son of Kar can be that aggressive player, the one who can just kind of go in there and somehow walk away with 2 and 3 kills. But if you're more or less showcasing and broadcasting exactly where you want that race to be flying, then it's so much easier for the other team just to slow it down a little bit and anticipate that, get ready to counter it. Of course, Screwface already getting quite a bit of damage in here, but Son of Kar starts off with a kill.
Yeah, and now it's Note that's getting aggressive. TP up to the top of Rubble and some solid sheriff shots to equalize. Sarah, though, shutting all that crowd down. And NBG still don't have a perfect buy. It's just Screwface holding it down on A. And Shopify knows that. Kumi's position not known, though, and Alexis will not win the 1v1 this time. That adds a free gun over to the defense and actually turns this into a completely even round with a completely even score on the board, too. Shopify look to maybe try and double down on this. Revenge kill Kumi, who is ducked back to the steps.
And now that the Haunt is back online for Sarah, another tool to utilize here. Snakebite still available as well for Noya. At this point, I'm wondering whether or not Shopify just go for one of these really large wraparounds and try to catch one of the players looking the wrong way. Looks like that's going to be the case. Shopify, they're going right into the spawn while Nightblood Gaming are just curiously walking around, trying to see potentially where Shopify might end up. But with this, they're not going to get any information from any of the utility placed down from Kumi.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes. At least Kumi does have the Steel Garden available. So Nightblood Gaming do have a pretty powerful retake tool ready to go if they need it.
I mean, this is just terrific timing, isn't it? Gonna get rid of all that Vice util before it can be used. And you take the fight early so you don't allow the Steel Garden to even get used. Luckily, Nightblood are able to hold steadfast and don't even lose one. 2v2 goes their way. Have more than enough time to defuse, reset. Screwface still has his Odin. It's a perfect world here as they'll take the lead back.
These rounds are like a 3-act Shakespearean play, Tenrek, because it starts out where it's like, oh my goodness, everything is popping off. What the heck is going on? Like, it's just Nightblood Gaming running right at Shopify Rebellion. And then once the dust finally settles, the teams are basically evened out across the board. And then it's just an interesting kind of cat and mouse game coming out from Shopify and Nightblood Gaming, leading up to a dramatic conclusion at the very end. After that spike goes down and Nightblood Gaming are trying to interrupt it. So many rounds have followed that kind of exact order, and looking at the positioning where Nightblood is currently, I'm expecting that this one is going to be pretty similar.
Yep, let's get this exposition dump started here on Rubble. Let all that util go. Nightblood not afraid to overutilize to guarantee that space early on. Shopify, the same with C-Mount. No car, no problem. Alexis given away by the Prowler again. Go figure she's over here. But she's got help this time. Noya holding out way in the spawn. She's actually going to hold on top of this shear, too. Interesting decision, but Shopify are able to play keep away on the C site to keep it safe. And now Noya, ooh, great reposition so the Rose doesn't catch her. And now she steps back into the fight.
Wow.
Easy 1, 29 HP, but Kara now has to extend, elongate, and that gives SRG even more agency on this C site. Kara will kill, though. And all SRG has is this C site, and Screwface doesn't even want him to have that.
Like, is able to go down and look at
Mel.
positioning.
Oh, you dog.
That's going to be the flank of all flanks.
If Nightblood Gaming doesn't turn around after Mel just ulted, they haven't been watching any Shopify Rebellion Gold game in their life. Or they just have no time and they want to get this fight done now while the Steel Garden is down. That might be better. Screwface first crunch, everyone else is in mound, but here comes Mel. Unaffected by that Steel Garden. Car able to get the half defuse, but they don't feel safe enough to continue. Car now does. You don't know! Because Mel is still here and is taking this down to a 1v1. A Mel flank if there ever was one, and it will get the job fully done! We're tied back up at 5, baby!
Oh, geez, what a round. What a pleasure to see that actually work out the way that Shopify Rebellion Gold wanted it to. Mel just completely TPing into the back line of Nightblood Gaming. And once again, I wonder how much of that aggression, that eagerness that we see from Nightblood, where the call was just made, let's just ignore it, everything should be fine. And you can tell that Nightblood Gaming were really kind of crossing their T's, dotting their I's, making sure they dealt with the Viper so early on, but they thought they could get ahead of the problem. And Mel says simply, not today. Walks in there, walks away with a 4K, as all the members of Nightblood Gaming were just stalled out just long enough to let that Omen flank really showcase itself.
At this point, all Noya needs to do is poke her head out of the A door, and that'll siphon all this util dumping. What a shot by Kumi to get Sarah down to a crisp. Razorvine has to get attention paid to it, as Kumi, one of the players who does not have a rifle active this round, and Shopify feel comfortable and capable twisting the knife onto the C again. Still this mountain presence though, and everyone is in the B opening. Carr tries to let the showstopper fly onto the top of sight, but Shopify aren't as pressed in as they think yet again. SRG manipulates the timing so perfectly. Insane macro read. Sarah's last 5 HP is chipped down by Screwface's Odin though, so it is a 3v3 post plant. Still the gun's going the way of Shopify though.
Yeah, and keep in mind too, Alexis, very low HP. Only 2 left, it's gonna be Nightfall online.
Right on top of it is Shopify. They're just willing to peek into it, and it might lead to their downfall. Everybody swept down. And it's yet again Shopify that try to play smarter, but Nightblood that are trying to play harder, and they are still 1 step and 1 round ahead.
I would just like to highlight that Screwface was the one walking in with the Odin. Kumi and Note only had sheriffs in their hands, and it was the sheriffs that found the, what do you call it? They just found the heads of the remaining members of the Shopify Rebellion Gold Squad. I thought, like you said, Shopify Rebellion did a fantastic job reading the Nightblood aggression. You know, you hear the plank go down. Okay, now is the time that Nightblood are probably going to be pushing into us. You see a little bit of utility go. They brace for impact and just set up these amazing crossfires, not even on the site, so that Nightblood just walk into the meat grinder there. Of note as well, Nightblood Gaming that time, they didn't go with all the gusto, but we're seeing the util dump yet again. They're more cautious this time. We're not seeing them just send it down, which means that their survivability after this initial util dump is a lot higher.
Great anti-conditioning read from Nightblood Gaming to challenge Noya attempting to get out on top of her own toxic screen for like the first time this game. She does sense the presence and dips back out. But Alexis is still going to be here on B, and Nightblood should know that too. I mean, Carr should, yeah, they should be fine. So Pit set up on top of the spike. Classic 4v3. This time it's Dodo Nut that's a little ahead of the problem. Do they read this? They have the util for it. Flash out. Oh, Mel's holding the high ground, and both of them land. Now you just got to step into the pit. No other risks you're able to take. Beautiful haunt, though, to suss out Mel. And now she's choked up on the corner. It's got to set up a crossfire, but Screwface can just spray on the Odin again! And Nightblood Gaming stormed through one more time to make it a 7-5 defense.
I'm getting frustrated watching this map right now. Like, there's so
he
many
can't keep
moments
getting away with it.
Right? Like, not the Odin spray, and it just worked out. Like, I was like, oh no, Screwface is gonna find Mel with this one, okay. And somehow also takes down the Viper's pit just with that same spray. Like, there's no way. I love these crossfires being set up by Shopify Rebellion, but when it just comes down to those scrappy duels, it seems like Nightblood Gaming always come out on top. And, you know, that's one of the biggest things that we wanted to keep our eye on when it came to this matchup between these two squads. Shopify Rebellion Gold, the ones who have rehearsed, and Nightblood Gaming, the ones who are just fragging. And so, like you said, 7-5 half. Shopify Rebellion now on the defense, while Nightblood will be attacking. Screwface leading the kill feed with the 16. Like, 8 of them at least must have been because of that Odin. I'm just saying, but let's see how this one shakes out. Another util dump just outside of a yet again, a tale as old as time on Lotus. As the Shopify Rebellion Gold defense looks like they're a little bit more interested in holding things a bit closer onto C.
They've really been just trying to suffocate Nightblood whenever they let go of too much util. They just try to seize the edge whenever they think they have it. Very slow start by Nightblood. They don't want to dump everything at once, especially here on the pistol. Very valuable round here. Nightblood can get the streak going and turn this into a map pick that they can really trust.
Come on.
Great sense by Carr. That's just terrific. You knew that was going to flush someone out one way or another. If someone was there, why not take the shot? Their step out. I mean, nothing's really getting done here to Nightblood, but they're not exactly moving in. They're not even keeping everybody here as they rotate back over to A. Still, though, they've crossed over, and Mel, too distracted, Screwface.
30 seconds left.
He's still on top of that scoreboard for a reason, I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah, and Sarah has the read on that. That's something that was super interesting from Shopify Rebellion. Even though all that pressure there, they were still making sure to watch the entire map.
Great shot by Karn. They're gonna try and dip down. Sarah gets the extension, but that's some great shots by Note. Great positions by Nightblood in general. They just set up shop on site so fast, dude. That was crazy with the pistols as well. I can't imagine what they're gonna be able to do with all of this util in their faces. Setting up the vines on top of the fade, it's so dangerous on this map.
And this is another thing too, like looking at how these compositions are built, Shopify Rebellion Gold, they're going to be a little bit more heavily relying on smokes, denying that information to make Nightblood a little bit more uncomfortable, trying to push into the sites. And if we see Nightblood Gaming continue to go with that kind of foot on the accelerator approach, a lot of that utility kind of gets used up, and they've got plenty of time to rotate around, plenty of time to just wait out the smokes before they make their actual engagements. And since they're the ones with the heavy initiator utility, they've got plenty of time to set the pace however they want it to work. Screwface already has another LMG. This time it's just the Ares, but somehow, Shopify Rebellion Gold, they've got 4 of their members over here. The sixth sense kind of tingling as to where they might potentially run into some of the members of Nightblood Gaming.
I think they just want to kill Screwface. And yeah, I mean, the second he can get an LMG on this map, he's going to. He can quit anytime. Oh. Great drop. Again, SRG just getting in front of things a little early. Beating Nightblood to the punch. But Kumi's trying to take advantage of that in this off section. Gain steps and try to cut off a flank. NBG having easy access to C site. Oh, and Kumi's not been checked. Dink!
Yeah, that's honestly an excellent pick from Kumi as well.
Oh, the sheer stops both of them too! That's free time!
This is going to be a tough one. Donut, though, does have the Ares coming into this. At this point, we'll just want to do a little bit more economic damage against Nightblood Gaming. And Nightblood Gaming, understanding that most of Shopify Rebellion had to rotate out of the A side, well, look where they're hanging out. It's all over bound. They're holding so aggressive on these angles that Shopify Rebellion, if they do show themselves, will have, honestly, I wouldn't even be expecting it versus running in onto the site if they attempt this retake. But looks like they will be just trying to die to the spike. And Donut goes down. Yeah, Sudakar good for one more, and it's Note on the other side as well. Make the pinch work. It's going to be 4 members of Nightblood Gaming surviving into this next round.
So it continues to be great management from Nightblood Gaming, understanding exactly what they're better at than Shopify, and then just milking it to the bone. It's playing the game so right, and it's really dynamic. This is just such a fun team to watch, and you can understand why their pick is Lotus. They move so cleanly around this map. They're able to kind of scale it very quickly compared to other teams. The macro read has been a little tougher on this map compared to others. It feels like when it comes to 3-site maps, teams have focused a little bit more time into Haven lately, but Nightblood really look good here.
Whew. And yeah, they get so much damage onto Alex so early on.
Yeah.
Nightblood Gaming just really controlling the pace of this attacking half thus far. Are already moving things so far forward. Smiley able to get the ultimate orb, while Shopify Rebellion, they do have that forward hold onto the A site. They're leaving Donut to watch B just in case they get that fast rotation, because Nightblood Gaming, like you said, dynamic. You know, they're over here, making a lot of noise, dump a lot of util, and as soon as things get hairy, they decide to rotate over and go onto these other sites. And I think that kind of forces Shopify Rebellion to really be conscious of their map control, which usually they're a really good team for that.
Sarah can't seem to find a gap to get a kill off of. It's to set up Mel to get her own, though, and on the way down, she can find one. Now it's Donut with the shuffle, and she grabs 2, and finally Shopify find value out of it. Still, though, it sacrifices this space, and again, a lot of rifles, so Nightblood can still put a big dent, if not steal away this round, if they play their cards right, and they have a lot of time to set up shop again. Rose to clear out the drop. Shopify are very, once again, clear about where they're stacked. They're just going to execute as well as any team can. It's up to Nightblood to shut down this tank, and with Dodo and Alexis at such low health, it's very possible. There's one. And Alexis has to play off the back. Her head's already been spotted, but Noya has the backup. Note in the 1v1, and Noya saves the day for Shopify. Yet again, 1 player stands on the squad for the bonus that they're able to take.
Screwface's wraparound there. I didn't want to call too much attention to it because it really felt like Note was taking the brunt of the Shopify Rebellion gold retake. And, you know, just tosses out the paranoia, pushes them back just for a second. And Noya just had the sixth sense ready. The spider's senses were tingling and just knew that it was going to be Screwface walking in from heaven. Turns around, takes that out, makes this a totally winnable scenario. And yeah, Shopify Rebellion gold will now be taking a timeout. The score is 9-6 for Nightblood Gaming, especially on that last round. Even though Shopify Rebellion walked out on top of it, you could tell there was a bit more hesitancy, waiting for Nightblood Gaming to be the ones to make the move. And we've seen how aggressive they are with their util executions onto one of these areas. Like, they almost guarantee that they are going to be running in and finding a couple of quick kills. And that was with a weapon disadvantage. So I have to say, when it comes to those explosive moments from Nightblood Gaming, they look really sharp. And yeah, Shopify Rebellion, they set themselves up. As long as they're ready for it, then I think that they can continue to come back here. But this round is going to be tough just with the economic situation presented to us.
Shopify Rebellion Gold play Valorant, in my opinion, like a really good like dodgeball team. Like they have really good reflexes. They have a really good understanding of the terrain. You know what I'm saying? And they're able to understand the calls and just the mental game of other teams very quickly. And they can even intercept them. But right now, Shopify have their hands at their chests, and Nightblood Gaming are throwing the balls at their stomachs. And it can be a little painful to watch these shots continue to land and stick such tough knives in what are such beautiful artistic game plans coming from Shopify. You already see the step back after the hail of bullets come through on Rubble. They wanted to take some passive space, but way too much presence in order to do so. So instead, it's down to a couple rats and a couple petty guns in order to do the light work in the opening. Everybody from the stack is here, ready to fight, but not enough util to bolster to set up the fight in the open space. Prowler to try to do so, and Sarah's just gonna take it all the way. Kumi finally shuts that rampage down, but it's a 3v2 that Shopify will take to the bank.
Yeah, now things are looking a lot more even out. Mel, the only one with a stinger left. Son of Car spots out Noya. And yeah, Mel now just gonna be wrapping around. Keep in mind this Alexis is coming in all the way on the back. The Sheer should be able to pick that up. But a good repositioning from Shopify, respecting the opponents, allowing them that space. Is Nightblood actually, well, they're taking that spike maybe to another site.
We'll try and go up through spawn, and Noya catches car and escapes before Kumi can double down. Retreats back to the team, willing to let this reset, or even let Alexis take that responsibility if she can get there. No, she'll just wait on B. Again, Shopify will be willing to hand over this C site for the 3v1 retake as Kumi can get at least a little bit of stuff down as the spike gets planted.
And now this is going to be tough. One rose available for Kumi here. Does have the rifle in hand. A lot of hype around this player from Nightblood Gaming, but so much going for Shopify on this round. Keep in mind, Noya only down to 21 HP. Mel as well, a little bit weak. Especially against a Phantom, if they line up, could be dangerous, but here comes the retake.
First steps out of the waterfall, Kumi misses him. No chance to reposition, has to just hold the ground. One down, and Shopify end it there. So now two stable to take it to 9-7, slowly but surely building something up, but now Nightblood have to also start from scratch. So it seems like both teams have a pretty clear blueprint for the tail end of this regulation here. With Shopify still 2 rounds down, still an ulti down as well, it feels like it's on them to continue to find the way to get the first word in before Nightblood can have more control over the macro.
And it just came down to just having great timing there when they decide to push out. Obviously, Sarah was the one who kind of found all those kills, lighting up the kill feed. But Dodo Nut's distraction just kind of flying in there. You can see Nightblood Gaming, all of their heads immediately turned towards the raise, which allowed those opportunities for the push through. So once again, just another nice rehearsed strategy coming in for Shopify Rebellion to get it. And you know that does not feel good, but given the amount of times that Screwface has done it to Shopify, that must feel great for Mel.
100%, and they're not done yet. They know that Nightblood's got to push in on this, try to find something, some semblance of a trade to justify sticking around. But there's too many members of Shopify to deal with, and it's just no dice. No chance. And the 2.5 rifles that were invested into this round will once again be scratched away for Nightblood, who will have a bit of a soft reset this round. They can, again, find a way to establish a rhythm as long as you don't get away with a spray kill like that, opening things up.
And yeah, excellent time now for Nightblood Gaming to take their timeout. Last couple of rounds, usually they're the masters of when to take their timings. They've caught Shopify Rebellion Gold off guard multiple times in that first half. Excellent timings on just going through those push throughs, but it's not clicking as much on their attack currently. So, you know, this is an excellent time to just kind of reevaluate the strategy, try and find something that might just change it up a little bit. Obviously, a couple of unlucky kills if you are Nightblood with the spray through on the smoke, but there's a certain point where it's like, okay, we got to cool it off. And I do think that they're good at adapting things. We saw what was happening with Senecar on the first half where, you know, just kind of send in Car. Oh, and Car's dead. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate. And they were able to adapt to it. They made some changes and were able to ultimately win out the half. But you want to stop things now before it starts to spiral a little bit too out of control. And this is an excellent time to do so, to make sure that this map, which once again is the Nightblood Gaming pick, can really be the Nightblood Gaming win.
Agreed. Despite how good Shopify has looked throughout this game, despite how smart they've looked, this is the most dangerous they've looked against Nightblood so far. This was the right time to call some sort of pause, as there's probably not going to be another opportunity to do so again if the snowball continues to roll before Shopify can really find their stride, which they're already very close to doing. Another bit of a dump here on Rubble, but it's a little lighter. They already have so much of a stack that they feel a little more comfortable just letting Nightblood reveal themselves if they choose to fight there. But no fights actually taken just yet. In fact, with the rifles in tow, with 4 ults on the board, Nightblood are going to... Sorry, guys. My cat is all over my desk. Nightblood are going to choose to wait for Shopify to come to them. I swear, if this cat does not get out of my face...
Listen, the cat's just really excited because this is a really close game between these two teams right now. Just had to get in onto the action. A couple of pause swats. And this time, a lot of utility in the hands of Nightblood Gaming on this engagement. Noya actually tossing that snake bite early makes it a little bit scarier for Nightblood Gaming. They actually completely give up the fact that all of them are hanging out there and will be backing off. 45 seconds left on this clock right now. Let's see where they want to go. It does feel like they will be moving towards this A site. Got a Viper's Wall in front of them, as well as a Shear, just if they run it down main. So a lot of Vi's utility to take care of.
Hey, even with just one member here, Shopify, it seems like they're just so ever-present on all of these sites. Nightblood have so much trouble hitting everywhere, even when Alexis can still hit that, despite getting hit by the Nightfall instantly. That's gorgeous. Dodo Nut. High vantage for the showstopper, and she's got to let it fly. Nightblood have just enough time to play with to let that go and then get the spike down. No, they don't. 8 seconds now, and 2 defenders. They can put a dent in this. 4 seconds. Do they have enough time to plant? We'll see. Does it go down? Oh, it sure does. Noya in the 1v2 that she's forced to. Inside the smoke. Gets on top. Ready for the swing, first tap. Heads out. Re-up. Kumi falls for it this time, note early! And Nightblood hit double digits.
What a round. I just want to say that, hey, you know what, Dodo? That was a sick position for that.
That was so cool. Oh, I wanted to kill so bad out of that.
On top, like a sentry gun or something, just waited for someone. It was like, huh, they aren't coming. And it almost looked like Nightblood Gaming. I don't know if necessarily that was intentional there, but just because they couldn't hear anything, they kind of panicked and went for a little bit more of a safer pathway onto that site, which made sure that that showstopper missed, because that could have been dangerous. And just by the skin of their teeth, Nightblood Gaming are able to walk out of it. They had to use 2 ultimates in the midst of all of that, but they still got 3 more moving into this next one. Son of Car as well with the showstopper could be deadly, especially if you're just coming in with a stinger. To me, that broadcasts they might just be trying to set up Car to have one of those explosive plays. And look at this, Shopify Rebellion Gold. They rotate themselves over to this A site. A Prowler gets expended over towards B, but Nightblood Gaming make their way over to A. An impeccable read if they find that timing, as to where this attack might be landing.
Toxin screen down.
Sure got procced by Screwface. Oh, he couldn't jump back from it. He's stuck in the mic. He's stuck in the B site. Small press. Good kill from Kumi. Kara uses it for the showstopper, and he's good for it. Shopify once again planted close. This is a great read from Nightblood. Just slowly waning up, and then toss in everything when they know that Shopify have no more room to corner themselves in. Very beautifully done. Alexis can't really do anything, and in fact, Note's gonna track her down. That was really well put together, Marks.
It really was, and it just comes down to a couple of those opportunities there that we see from Nightblood Gaming. Finding a pick so early on, Kumi making sure that Noya went down was instrumental, because if they panicked, they could hit the Viper Spit right off the bat, make it extremely annoying for Nightblood to try and flood in onto that A site. But excellent ult cycling coming in from Nightblood Gaming, using their ultimates to secure these rounds, but not overspending. And sure, Mel was tucked away on site, but look at the cleanup crew moving in for Nightblood Gaming. They swarm in, and this time around, they're making sure to check every single nook and cranny to make sure that they don't kind of get caught off guard. So it will be forcing a timeout from Shopify Rebellion Gold. They were on a little bit of a roll, but after the last timeout from Nightblood, suddenly things are starting to slow down. And sure, their economy not looking fantastic for Shopify, but they now have the ultimate advantage coming into this one. Noya still holding on to that Viper's Pit, and a Steel Garden as well for Alexis. That does leave a couple of options. Maybe not spend in this round, because they are only on pistols here. But there is something that they can do if they want to try and push that advantage forwards onto Nightblood Gaming and convert some of these rounds. Meanwhile, I'm expecting we're going to be seeing a pretty lightning quick round here. Sunakar as well has that outlaw in hand. I wouldn't say necessarily has been fragging with sniper rifles this entire time, but we've seen some disgusting plays come out from Son of Kar, and so that outlaw could be huge. And Alexis actually starts us off here. It's going to be the pit activated very early on. And so Nightblood Gaming, they just bide their time, take things slow, get the feet up onto the couch a little bit, and wait to kind of see when an opening will present itself. The Screwface is exploring on A.
I mean, as long as Nightblood are inactive until they execute, then there should be a very nice, quick 1-2, 13-8 for Nightblood. Because Shopify ultimately need to win this off a read. And especially if they're going to choose to use a pit here, they need to play in these ultimates really well. Baby Door, Dodo Nut can't land a shot. That's so unfortunate. She had a window of time to as well. Kara dry peek on the Outlaw is also good to kill Mel. And Shopify cannot hold it down. Nightblood can just poke through. And Kar, yeah, once he has a sniper in his hands, it's kind of over, not going to lie. Oh, Noya.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, might as well. Oh, that's nasty. So from here, I mean, genuinely, Nightblood, if they just cut noise for the first 35 seconds of the round, it seems like they put themselves in a really solid position. Shopify don't really know if they want to choke themselves up on a site at that point. They don't know how heavily Nightblood's committed themselves to anything, because they haven't heard any committal to anything at all.
Yeah, like, it's tough, because we've seen the moments where Shopify Rebellion Gold are able to find those kills is when they're in unpredictable locations, right? Now we're seeing Son of Kar have that sniper rifle in hand. Dodo Nut goes down immediately. They're going to be taking the brawl here, though. Son of Kar cannot be stopped. Same with Sarah. That evens the playing field a little bit more. 2v3 now. We see Nightblood Gaming go for a bit more of a faster move, but all intensive purposes right now could be ending on to B. A shear might give that information, but otherwise Kumi can just kind of hang outside. They can go through that little link right there and find it. Alexis spotting some information.
Yeah, already spotted, and now Nightblood can pinch. Noya in the 1v3, the first round of many that Shopify need to save in order to have a chance on this first map, and two-step right into her sight line. All of a sudden, we're on the spike. We have a screen set up. We have Kumi pressured. Does he choose to beckon on top of the rose as the snake bite falls away? Noya still no time on the spike. Kumi gives himself in. in and ends the game. The first time we saw SRG on Lotus in a while, and they looked pretty good, but Nightblood picked this for a reason.